I found God in a Las Vegas restaurant, Part 2. It wasn't meant to be this way, he told me. You became this yourselves later. It's a side effect of too much free will. Why don't you fix us up? God shook his head and gave a wry smile as he looked at the dead insects on the overhead lamp. I can't, he confessed. I can't do it anymore. Why not? I asked curiously. He took a sip of tea and sighed. Do you really want to know? I think it's almost necessary now. Well, he began, the other gods deprived me of the ability to create when they cast me out of the heavens. Wait, I interrupted. Are there other gods? Of course, he laughed. They were the ones in charge of creating the different types of angels. I leaned back on the bench and took a deep breath, trying to process the information he had just given me. So why did they expel you? God took another sip of tea and pressed his lips together. Because I broke the first rule of the gods, he confessed to me. You never grant free will to a lesser being. Why not? God finished the tea, and the cup refilled itself once more. He materialized other sugar cubes and dissolved them. Why do you think so? He asked me. Look around you. Look at this place. It's filled with suffering and despair, filled with shattered dreams and hope for a better future that will never come. And when people get fed up with that, they come to these places in the city and end it with a bottle or two. It's certainly a grim prospect, I confessed. You say that because you don't know what I have to do, God replied. I took a sip from the cup of wine and frowned. Well, what don't I know? I asked. You don't want to know, he growled. You're probably right, but tell me anyway. A shadow fell over God's face, and for the first time since I'd walked into that restaurant, I felt strange. He took a deep breath and continued. I'm not the first god to fail, he explained. There were other gods before me, ancient gods who were driven by cruelty. They created creatures darker than your worst nightmares, dark beings whose sole purpose was to harm, consume, and kill. A series of chills ran down my arms. And where are those beings now? I asked. Down there, he replied. Where all the failed gods and their flawed selves end up after death, in the lake of eternal fire. My heart broke.